Y'all ready?
Let's do this. Okay, I'm first. So I'm Haley Jenkins. First off, I have to say, if y'all can hear Lainey crying in the background, I'm so sorry. We had literally tell me why our security system guys come at 7:30 at night, knock on your door, wake your child up because your dog barks. So we're having a hard time getting her back down. So forgive me for that, my poor baby. Hopefully she gets down. But so I'm going to tell y'all my story, a little bit of my story, and then just a little bit of tips. Basically, what's helped me overall in the business and just like in my life in general. So, like Chandler said, I started back in July, rank up month. We actually had been talking for like 6 months. Basically, I wanted to do it, but I was like very skeptical and like, no, it's not going to work. Ghosted her, what people do to us now. And since I've been in network marketing before, I knew that like when Chandler posted about going Emerald, like I was like, okay, love supporting network marketers anyways, because I know what it's like. So that's how it all started. So thankful for Chandler. And then I was on the products for a couple months whenever I started like feeling really good. Basically, I am a health and fitness like junkie. I love working out. I love meal prepping. I love being healthy, but I was constantly eating chocolate chips, like handfuls on handfuls a day, and always eating ice cream, like pints of ice cream. And I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I thought I was healthy. I thought this was what I was supposed to do. Is this normal? And of course, Chandler posting about gut health the whole time got me very intrigued with it. So finally started feeling better, was not craving chocolate chips, was not craving ice cream, did not want to eat out anymore. And so that's when I finally decided that I wanted to share the business. And I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, still am a stay-at-home mom, and I love it. But that was another reason, because I wanted to contribute to the family whatever way possible. I knew I didn't want to go get a job when my husband came home from work. So started the business, and of course Haley she was one of my first three. The three people that I talked to: my mom, my mother-in-law who said no, so my father-in-law, who I knew needed it, signed up, and then I talked to Haley about it. And she had known about Plexus before. I'm pretty sure she had done it in the past, if I remember correctly. But then basically signed up herself, and she'll tell you her story in a little bit. And then started the business from there. So that was like in September, October. And then I got pregnant, which was not planned. Like, we wanted to have another child, but it was not planned. And so if you know me, my pregnancies are not fun and horrible. And I was miserably sick no matter what I did. And so basically Plexus became on the back burner, and I didn't want to do it. I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to do it. And I used it as an excuse. I didn't have the energy. I had a toddler running around. And so I never really took it serious. I was pretty much a hobbyist, but didn't realize I was a hobbyist until later on. And fast forward to, when did we go? March, when we had leaders retreat. I did earn leaders retreat. I almost didn't go. I almost backed out, but thankfully my mom came with me, and if it wasn't for my mom, I came. And so when I went to leaders retreat, it was super fun, but I was very like hesitant. I didn't know anybody. Like, I had never met Chandler in person. We had just talked on Instagram. I didn't know anyone else, and Haley could not come because she had work responsibilities. So she was really the only person I would have known that would have came. So I was like, did not want to do anything. I was tired. I always wanted to go back to the hotel and like sleep. And so I didn't really like get the experience, but I got an experience being there. Well, then May, we also earned the Ruby's retreat, which I think we changed it to a different name. I don't remember, but we almost didn't come either. Basically, we missed our flight, and then Haley and I were like trying to find other flights. We had to drive 2 hours to get in a flight, and it was just a really hectic morning. And so I almost backed out. Basically, Haley told me, it's not happening. We're going. Let's go. We want this. We need this. And that was super fun. I was feeling a little bit better in my pregnancy, and Haley was there with me. And so I had a lot more fun, but still was like not taking the business as serious as I wanted to, and as serious as I should have. So fast forward to when Lainey was born. I did not say this, but back in, I guess right after I got pregnant, I ended up getting a part-time job, and I would go to work when Tyler got home, and I worked on the weekends. And so we like never saw each other ever, unfortunately. But Plexus was on the back burner. We need some money, not like it's some money. And I was a stay-at-home mom who never got out. That's a whole nother story. And I needed adult interaction. So I got a job. Well, I don't remember which call it was, but Chandler and I were talking, and she basically, like, I told her about our part-time, and she basically asked me what I needed to do to quit my part, like what I needed to do with Plexus so I could quit my part-time job, because I didn't want to do it anymore. I was tired of it. I was tired of not seeing my husband and leaving my kid, um, one kid at the time. And so I think I said at the time it was Ruby. If I could go Ruby, I would quit, and that would be enough money. And so since then, and then fast forward a few more months when Lainey was born, I was like, I don't want to leave Lainey. I don't want to go back to my part time. Like, I know she'll be fine, but I just didn't want to do it. And then another obstacle came up. My husband's work um, became even more exhausting. Still is doing other people's jobs. So his job gets done. He's working late hours. He leaves early mornings. And so we're just in a season of life where we don't see each other a whole lot. And back up a little bit more with my other story, we never went out. Like, we never had alone time. I never left my kids. I was terrified to do that. So we really hadn't had any alone time in like 2.5 years. And so I knew, like, that was my why. I wanted to be successful in this business, start taking it serious, make it my job, because I want my husband to have the opportunity to take a pay cut, because that's the only reason why we're here, is because of the money. But take a pay cut if we chose to, so we could live somewhere else, and he could have a different job where he's not as stressed, and my income will take care of his pay cut. So started taking the business serious. So if you are a hobbyist, I suggest you dig down deep and find your why, and wake up every morning and say you're doing it for this. I don't remember what podcast it was on, but I listened to that, and I like had to start writing it down and saying it every single day, or I wasn't going to take it serious. And so ever since then, I told myself, I'm going to literally do anything and everything Chandler tells me to. I'm going to do anything and everything that is sent in the chats, in our messengers, like the challenges, the podcasts that were sent, the books that were suggested, anything that was said, I was going to do. And so I started doing it, and I started writing down my IPA. I never wrote down my IPA. I never took it serious. But I started writing it down and doing everything that was required. I did not have the IPA sheet. I just wrote it in my book that I had at first, until I got the IPA journal. And you need to get the IPA journal, unless you have something specific that you really like. But basically, it has what you need to do every single day. You message people, you talk about the business and or products, you follow up with people, you can write down notes, you have a training video or reading, whatever you're doing for personal development that day, your post, your birthdays. And my favorite thing is the prayer and affirmations. And so I started praying more about my business. I never prayed about my business. I don't know why I didn't, but I started to. And then affirmations, I would always write down things, positive, whether it was true or not. But it was like, I am a good leader. I am a businesswoman. I'm a great mother. I'm a great wife. Just anything like that, I would write down. And um, the the thing that truly got me over the hump, not just that, but then, if you haven't watched Jessica Heffley's, um, let me see what I wrote it down. It's her diamonds YouTube training. It's called Future Diamonds Ready for Some Truth Bombs. you need to go watch that. If you want to take your business serious, if you want to go above and beyond, you need to listen to that. And she'll tell you, if you're not serious, then get off the training, because she won't go on with it. But basically, the next step was, she said in her YouTube training, if you want to become a diamond one day, you cannot work 7 hours a week. And I was working less than 7 hours a week. I would barely do anything throughout the week. And so I was like, Haley, you got to get your crap together. Like, it's time to do it. And so I started working more. And whenever I got my IPA journal is when everything really took off, because I didn't have like the, I guess, categories to write down. Here, oops, sorry. I have to do it on my phone. So my phone just fell. Also, I don't have a computer, and that's my next big purchase, is a computer. But when I got my IPA journal and I had like the categories, started writing it down and basically just doing the dang thing. I know we say this over and over and over again, but I mean, it took me a little bit to figure it out. Like, you just have to do the basics. You have to do the easy things. You have to do the scary things. You have to reach out. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to do things that are going to make you want to throw up, because that's the only way you're going to grow. That's the only way that you are going to learn anything, and get better at it. And so the biggest thing for me was messaging people. I would not message people that we call cold messages, coldies. I never did that. I literally vowed, I said, cold messages are not something that I want to do. Like, I just had a bad taste in my mouth because I've heard about it in the past. And I was like, if they're interested in Plexus, they're going to come to me. That's not true. That's not true. People will sit there and want you to come talk to them and be terrified to message you. So what I had to do is start listening to another wonderful person, Christina Williams. If you don't listen to her, listen to Christina Williams. She's my girl. I think I literally am so obsessed with her because she is also a health and fitness junkie. And so I just love watching her. And she's super blunt, and she'll tell you how it is. And she's funny. And so I started watching videos, and basically she says, like, your social media platform is like like we said, it's your open sign. Like, that's how you show that's your business. And if people are watching you, if they're liking, if they're interacting, if they're engaging, like, they're inviting you to come talk to them. Like, they know what you do. You talk about it all the time. And if you don't talk about it, start talking about it, because that's what you do and that's who you are. And so if they don't like it, they can unfriend you. That's what Christina says. They can unfriend you because this is your business. This is your life. This is your social media platform. And so they know. So if you have the connection and you have that relationship with them, like, talk to them about it, because every single one of us knows how wonderful Plexus products are and how they have helped us and so many other women out there. And so somebody is suffering in silence and they need you. They need you to reach out for sure. And so my biggest tips for this, I don't even know how long I'm talking. Hopefully I give Haley enough time. I'm sorry, Haley. My biggest tips is just, you've got to dig down deep, find your why, say that every single day, do your IPA every single day, and get uncomfortable, because the only way you're going to grow is by being uncomfortable. And the only way you're going to learn is by being uncomfortable and doing scary things. Because let me tell you this, I'm also terrified of speaking in front of people, and I almost like threw up before this. So I just feel so much better doing it. And I want y'all to know that anything is possible if you just get out of your head. Get out of your head, think positive, and do the dang thing. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Good job, Haley J. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Yes. Okay. Sorry, I'm hiding in my parents' closet because I'm hiding from 3 crazy children. Those of you that have more than 2 children. I only have 1 and 1 on the way, but my nephews are here and it has been wild. So, bless you. Um, okay, well, Haley J started with her story, so I'll start with my story just a little bit. I started October because of postpartum anxiety and stress, and my husband was like, "Oh, you're gonna go to the doctor if you don't get on something," and I was like, "I don't want to do that." So, thank you. Needed a phone charger. Um, so I started the products with Haley Jenkins, and then I started referring a few people to Haley Jenkins, and she was like, "Hey, you should do the business," and I was like, "Absolutely not. No, thank you. It is a pyramid scheme, and I am not doing it." That is what I told her and Chandler. And I'm pretty sure Chandler got off our call and was like, "This girl's annoying. I don't like her. Pyramid scheme." And then they were like, "No, you're going to do the business." And then I ended up loving the product. So I signed up my mom and my grandma and my husband, I think, because I was like, "Oh, I'm going to get that bonus and then we'll see how it goes from there." Well, then they also loved it. And so I just decided to continue to share. Um, And I did not do the social media stuff at first. I went fast start silver, senior silver, and I think almost gold before I ever made a post. And then Chandler was like, "Hey, it's probably time we make a post." And I was like, "No, I don't want to." I'm an educational diagnostician, so I work with a bunch of ladies, and I'm in a bunch of different elementary schools. And so in person is my absolute favorite way to talk about plexus. And I still do lots of in-person events and talk about plexus all the time to anybody, like the UPS, my nail lady, hair lady, all the above, because I just love it. It's super easy for me to come across. Dog groomer, yes, Becca, I signed up my dog groomer, you guys. I love talking about it in person. I feel like it's super easy. um I also love talking about the business in person. I struggle with the cold messaging or whatever. I like warm messaging better. I think that that is a better word for it, because you should be building a relationship with those people anyways. But yeah, so that's kind of my story. But I do want to talk about I'm trying to think of how I want to talk about it. I went really, really fast in the beginning, and it was really, really fun. And I have some girls on my team that are really flying through the ranks right now, and they're having a ton of fun. Or I've gotten a message this month that's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm stuck. I added this many people last month and I've added nobody this month." And I get it, because I was that person. I was like, "I went gold by myself. I got this." And then I got 3 girls that wanted to do the business with me. And sorry, I'm also pregnant. So my breath, I cannot breathe. I feel um, anyways, I had 3 girls that wanted to do the business with me. So it was super fun. And they all went fast start gold, and then they all quit. And I was like, "Okay, that's really great. This is amazing." And one was my cousin. So I had a really hard time with that. She was like, "Oh, I don't really need the money." I think she holds 30, 45 points each month. And so she makes a $200 paycheck, and she's good with that right now. I do think she'll come around later on. But when you get a gold, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is it." I told Chandler and Haley, I was like, "I have a team. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to run." And then they all quit. And I was like, Okay. And so then I was senior gold at this point, and I stayed senior gold for a year. I got off the fast start track, which was honestly probably the best thing that could have happened to me as a person. Um, I know that sounds kind of silly, but not going fast start Ruby it was good for me. I needed to learn how to work this business, and I needed to learn to do the things without just flying through the ranks. I needed to learn about customer care, because let's be honest, I was just signing people and moving on. Um, so that's a little bit about my story. Um, one thing I do want to talk about, I feel like everyone keeps asking for a system. How are you growing so fast? How are you doing this? How are you doing that? And I wish I could give you a 5-step system. I wish it was the same for everyone, and I wish it was super easy. Um, but I've gone over it and like talked to a bunch of people. And I'm like, there's just really not one system fits all, like one size shoe fits all. Cause it just doesn't. Like, the way I work with my friend Allie, that is going to go senior gold this month, is completely different than how I work with my friend Hope that went senior gold last month. Like, they are different people. They need different things. And you have to realize that. Like, you have to realize that the people on your team are different people and it's not a one size shoe fits all. Um, Also, one thing that I had to really learn was to protect your time and like don't pour into people. And I don't mean this like ugly, like pour into people that want to be there, that want to work the business, that are showing up to your team calls, that are doing the things. Um, I'm just gonna brag on this for a second. I'll never forget that I did a team call and so Allie didn't show up because she had to go meet her parents for a dog to get or whatever, and I can call her out because we're really good friends. So she didn't show up to the first team call, and Hope was like 20 minutes late because she was trying to feed her baby, and I was like, oh my god, like I have this group of 6 girls and no one showed up but me and Hope. And so I was like, okay, cool. And then y'all, Allie did her first team call last month and 9 girls showed up. So I was like, how fun is that? And I got to be a part of that. So that's really cool too. Sorry, that was kind of off, but like protect your time and pour into those that want to be poured into and that like respect your time too. Like they know I'm a mom. They know that I'm going to spend time with my husband. And I know that Allie is a head coach. I know that Hope has a child and a husband and has babies. And, you know, all of our girls mostly have babies or they have full-time jobs. Like there's not any of us that are stay-at-home mamas. Um, so that's another dynamic for my group is like, we don't do a ton of team calls. We don't do Facebook group messages. We group text and that's what works for us. I have several group texts with several different, like their sponsor and then their little team or things like that. And then I have one of all of us and it just works for us. We'll shoot messages back and forth. Some people cringe when I say that we do group text messages and not Facebooks and not groups and all of that. But it works for us. We all have super busy schedules. And so that is what works for us. Another thing I do want to talk about is like investing in yourself and in your business. So I had decided that it was either time to just realize I was going to be a hobbyist after going senior gold, not really pour anything else into it because I told myself that I didn't need the money. My husband and I both have really good jobs and I love my job. I never want to quit my job. I have a passion for my job. I work with special ed children every day and I love it. So I was like, okay, I'm either going to be happy sitting at like 250 making what I make, which I was completely happy with it. I told Chandler, I was like, I'm good with it. And then I like was following Brooke Hemingway and she was really talking about her 8-week course and like all these things. And I was like, okay, just do it. Like, just do it. Talk to my husband. He was super supportive. I am not telling you to go spend a ton of money on a training. I spent more than I probably should have, but it helped me tremendously. It is what I know it is what helped me go from senior gold to ruby. It is what helped me realize like I wanted more out of this. So I definitely feel like you have to invest in your business and you have to invest in yourself. Like if you truly do want this as a business. Sorry. I also feel like you have to lead by example. I'm not going to ask my team to do something that I'm not doing. I'm not going to ask them to go check on their customers if I'm not checking on my customers or go post a business post if I'm not doing those things. So those are just kind of some of my tips and systems that I do. You know, we went Ruby. Jenkins went Ruby before me. I think she went Ruby in October. I ranked Ruby in November. I was also very sick in my first trimester. I was like sick for the 17 weeks and did not really want to work. And I called Chandler and I remember her saying, rank Ruby now so you can rest for a second and feel better. And I was like, I don't want to. Like, I'm tired. I don't feel good. And I'm somebody that needs to be pushed like that. Like, I needed Chandler to be like, no, you're doing it. Like, you can rest later. I don't care that you're sick. Like, I do love you, but you're more capable than this. And I was like, okay, so I ranked Ruby in November. And then to be completely honest, I did not rank in December and my points fell like by 65 points. And I was like, oof, that was really hard for me to digest, because I was like, oh my gosh. And I've always been a pretty big recruiter, and I think I recruited nobody in December. And I was like, dang, that does not feel good. I do not like that. So that kicked my butt back into gear. January, we grew by like 87 points. And then in February, we grew by 265 points. But with that being said, like, I did not do that on my own. So I have asked Allie and Hope to share. I asked them 3 questions. And so I'm going to ask them to share those 3 questions with you, or just kind of their answers, because you guys, like, it is a team effort. Like, I'm not saying you can't do things without your team, because you can, but it is so much more fun with a team. Like, and my team means absolutely everything to me. They have huge goals and beliefs. And I feel like one thing I had to really, really learn was to believe in myself as much as I believed in them. And so if you're not believing in yourself, but you're telling your team that you believe in them, like, you need to go back and do some adjustments, because that is one thing, like, I know I can do it now. Like, I believe in myself. And if people fall off, like, I can rebuild, because that's what this is. And sometimes you have to do those things. Okay. So Allie or Hope, if you want to go real quick. Maybe.
I'll go first.
Okay, great.
Hope, can you introduce yourself really fast and tell us like what rank you're at and how long you've been here, please?
And that you increased your points by 50 within like 3 hours the last
Literally
April month.
hours.
Just
Thank
saying.
you, Chandler and Haley, and an insane afternoon. I am Hope. I know Haley. I actually know both Haleys. They both worked in Seminole, which is my hometown. Haley was a coach here. Oh, they were both coaches here. And so I knew both of them, and I had watched both of them share, but I kind of was like, well, stuff like this is, it doesn't really work, until I was desperate and I was like, I'm trying anything. So I did. And postpartum, because I was in a bad state, I was at my heaviest I've ever been, and I felt terrible. I was tired all the stinking time, had no energy for Hayes, let alone Caden and teaching and all the things. So I was on the products for like, I don't even know how many months. I started, I think, in March, and then I didn't start sharing with people until November. And I like thought about it when Haley asked me, and I was like, I don't know. I think I told her no a couple times. And I was like, why am I not sharing? This has like made me feel so good, lose the weight. I don't have stomach issues anymore. So I was like, it's a no-brainer. I should share. What can I lose? And so I started sharing. Like, I fully did not expect to get out of this as what I have gotten out of it, with the relationships and just the fun, and like the financial stuff. So I decided to share, and it was a lot easier than I thought it was. I had formerly like done Beachbody, and I was like in it. I love the workouts. I have always been someone up until recently, up until being a mom and trying to juggle everything, someone that has always been super active, and loved working out. And I put my heart and soul into that and never saw anything out of it. So I just kind of gave it up, and kind of thought, I'll try this, but it's probably going to be the same way. And it's totally not. So it's really has been easy sharing with people, because I love the products. And I feel like people like Haley Ross had said, she really likes talking to people in person. So I'm a kindergarten teacher, and I work with literally the whole campus is women, but one male janitor. So like we talk. And so I love sharing in person. But that's kind of been my jam. But I'm also, I don't know, social media is just fun to me. So I love sharing there too. But let me go on and I'm going to answer these questions that Haley asked me to answer. So the first one is, what has been the most helpful thing that has helped you get to where you are? And totally 100%, Haley checking in on me daily and literally asking me, texting me, what do you need from me, has literally helped me. And I've never felt like I couldn't text her. I literally, sometimes I'm like, I am annoying her. Like, this has got to be so annoying. But she's literally never, ever, ever not answered me. She's always been great and giving me the help that I need. So I really feel like her helping me and guiding me has definitely helped me get to where I am so far. And then the second one is, what about our team helps you? What steps or skills help? We have fun. Like, I think it's fun. I've never like approached this as like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. Sharing's fun. And I love blessing other people because I know that it can help them. And like, if I can share an opportunity with them that can help them feel the way I do, why not share? Sorry, I'm reading. And it's so fun to get to see other people sharing and then getting that feedback from people about how it's helped them too. Those are always fun messages when someone tells you, like I shared, like one of my coworkers was like, I have not wanted a Coke this whole week. I literally have to have a Coke to get me through the day. And I drank one today and it was just kind of bleh. So those are always fun. I also think another thing is getting comfortable creating reach outs and messages, and sharing how it's helped you, and like knowing that it will help them, like it can help them, and just being confident in that. And then lastly, she asked us to share, how have you helped your girls go silver? And honestly, I'm just going to be real for sure right now, that I've had one in particular that like I just talked to her for a long time in person, and she was real skeptical, but she tried it and she loved it, and she went to the doctor and her doctor was like, whatever you're doing is working. Like, she was going to a GI specialist, and so she was just talking about her results and stuff, because I shared with her like every week my results, and then she automatically signed up like 2 or 3 people and I didn't even know. So that was kind of crazy. The other ones, it's just like kind of like videos and visuals are easier for me. So what I do for them is when they ask me like how to like sign someone up in the very beginning, I do a video and I show them exactly what to do, because that's just what works for me. I also have shared with all my girls that are potentially like sharing with other people. I create notes in my phone where it has like videos, so like for triplex, it has videos in it. It has a lot of information in it. I also have like just like typical reach outs in that note for people that I think would benefit from triplex, and lots of graphics in there with that. And then one thing that has seriously helped me so much, especially with customer care, is after someone purchases a welcome pack, what I do is send them because most of the time they're purchasing triplex, so I send them the detox video and tell them to watch it before they get their product in. And then after they get their product in, I tell them to message me, and then I go over the instructions on how to specifically start for them. So I think that's all, but I think I answered all of them. So you're up, Allison.
Okay, before Allie talks, I do just want to shout out some of her team. I'm sure Allie's going to tell you how she started and all those things, but you guys, Allie's team has grown significantly in the last month and they have just blown up. Her team is going to be so much fun. And when Hope finds her girls and they're ready to run, and she's got a few that are really getting ready, they're both going to blow up and be amazing leaders. But I just wanted to brag on that just a little bit, that I know I talked a lot about Hope and Allie, but we also have 2 girls named Mackenzie and Cassie that have been really working their tails off as well. And then the other girls are on Allie's team, and everyone just like rode together or worked together and had a lot of fun when we ranked up. And I wanted to touch on one more thing before I let Allie talk. We chat about our goals at the beginning of the month, every single month. And we don't just say like, oh, I want to add 3. Like, we chat about them, they write them down, and then we make a plan on how to get there, like a legit plan on what they need to do to reach those goals by the end of the month. And I think that is huge. If you're not doing that with your sponsor and your upline, I think, or yourself, try, because that's really huge. Okay, Al, your turn.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Allie. I coached with Haley and Haley in Seminole. So we were pretty much best friends, super close before this all started. And so I think that's just been like made it super easy to just trust them. And we just have fun with it. I guess I'll share my story very, very briefly. My husband started the products with Haley Ross before I did. I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need that. I feel fine. But I had just had a baby, so I did need it. So she finally convinced me, and I knew I didn't want to start the products until I was convinced to do the business. I wanted to jump all the way in. And so I did, and pretty much Haley just asked me, like, at what point, like, is your why going to be bigger than your fear? And so when she asked me that question, I was like, dang, like, I don't need to be so scared to do this when I have things that are way bigger than my fears. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about my story. It's not really all that big, but I'll answer her questions real quick. Her first one, like Hope said, was what has been the most helpful thing that has helped you get to where you are now? I think for me, like, just being coachable. When Haley says jump, I just jump. Like, do a scary post. 10 floor rubber duckies doing a scary post. Like, that's what you have to do, because Haley's obviously doing something that, like, whatever she does works. So why not just, I don't know, just do it. And then the other thing that's helped me is like, just keeping in mind it's about serving others. I feel like if you make this about yourself, make this about like my business, my success, like, you will hit a standstill, because you can only, get benefited so much. But whenever you see others winning, like, it just fuels my fire. So just leading with a heart of a servant has helped me so much. Okay, what about our team helps you? What steps or skills help? Our team is like just so encouraging. We love each other. I'm an Enneagram 7, so I just like to have fun. And so we're always just sending funny things, encouraging, and that kind of like leads into like, how have I helped my girls go silver? Like, I'm a coach, so I'm going to hype them up. If I believe in them, then they're going to believe in themselves. And so, like, I guess that's just kind of like my, I don't even know what it's called, but just my style, I guess. Like, just hype them up, coach them up. You can do this. I believe in you. Strength. Yes. Thank you, Jordan. That's my strength. Like, just hype them up. And the other thing I would say has helped me, like, learning the products, so you actually are confident in what you're talking about, and then you're not just like, oh, hey, triplex, oh, you want triplex, oh, you want triplex. Like, actually get to know, like, all of the products outside of just the triplex, and how every single one can benefit, because not everyone, I mean, everyone needs triplex, but some people might be interested in different things that could be more beneficial for them. So yeah, that's what I got for you.
Good job, Allie. I know that was really hard for you to lead in front of so many people and talk, so I'm really proud of you for doing that. Okay. I do want to leave with just, or not leave. I don't know if you have questions. I don't know how much time we have, but just with like, I wrote, you guys, I wrote like all these notes and wrote it in really big letters at the end was to have fun, because if you're not having fun with this, then it becomes stressful. And, we talk about it all the time. Me and actually my friend Hannah, I don't know if she's on tonight, but we talk about it all the time. Like once you start setting goals that are like not fun anymore, like it's not fun for you to work on. Like have fun with it and know that like your fear cannot be bigger than your why. Like it cannot hold you back. If it does, then you really need to work on that. Get Over Your Damn Self is a really good book. I cared way too much about what people thought when I posted, and now I don't care at all. Like I had to start my Instagram over and started with 0 followers and was like, I'm gonna quit. And Joanna Miller, I don't know if y'all know her, but she's amazing, sent me this sweet little card in the mail and these little soaps and was so encouraging. I was like, do not quit because of something silly or Satan telling you to stop, because your fear is not bigger than your why to do this. And she was right. And now we're a senior review team and we're only growing, and it's so much fun to watch my entire team. Like so much fun. We have some new silvers, Paige Ramirez, lots of things that are in the works. And so, yeah, I hope that helped tonight. If y'all have questions or anything, or if Jordan, you want to talk, whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the recording really quick.